The hidden brain mechanism triggering refocus every morning, full breakdown and real reset method. She stood in front of the coffee maker, staring at the timer like it might hold an answer. Same kitchen, same ritual, but her mind was already somewhere else, scattered before the day had even begun. Most mornings felt like this, a mental fog that didn't lift with caffeine or willpower. She wasn't tired, exactly, just unreachable. Like her brain had left without her. What she didn't know yet was that something inside her skull was quietly sabotaging her focus, not out of laziness, but biology, a hidden rhythm her body followed, whether she wanted it to or not, and once she understood it, everything changed. For years, she blamed herself. Lack of discipline, poor habits. Maybe she just wasn't wired for productivity. But the truth was deeper and far more forgiving. Deep inside the brain, there's a tiny cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It sits just above where your optic nerves cross, no bigger than a grain of rice, and it controls something most of us take for granted, our internal clock. This clock doesn't just tell you when to sleep. It governs when your brain is sharpest, when your emotions are steadiest, when your body is primed to heal or learn or create. It's the conductor of your biology, and every morning, it tries to reset. But here's the problem. Most of us interrupt the process before it even starts. She used to wake up and immediately reach for her phone. Emails, messages, news, a flood of input before her brain had a chance to orient itself. It felt productive, urgent, even, but her brain was still in a fragile transition state. The shift from sleep to wakefulness isn't instant, it's a delicate recalibration. And when you flood that moment with stress, decision-making, or emotional triggers, you throw the system off. Researchers at the University of California found that the first hour after waking is when the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, judgment, and self-control, is most vulnerable to disruption. It's not fully online yet, it's warming up. And if you push it too hard, too fast, it never quite catches up. She didn't know this at the time. She just knew she felt behind before breakfast. But then something shifted. One morning, she woke up and didn't reach for her phone. Not out of discipline, she'd just forgotten to charge it. So she sat there, in silence, staring at the window. At first, it felt uncomfortable, like she was supposed to be doing something. But then, nothing happened, and that nothing felt strangely okay. Her thoughts didn't race, her chest didn't tighten. For the first time in months, her mind felt like it was hers again. What she didn't realize was that she'd accidentally given her brain exactly what it needed: space to reset. The suprachiasmatic nucleus uses light as its primary signal. Morning light. Specifically, it tells your brain, this is the start, recalibrate, sync everything. But it also needs stillness, a moment without demand, without input, just presence. When you allow that, something remarkable happens. Your cortisol levels, which naturally spike in the morning to wake you up, stabilize instead of spiking chaotically. Your dopamine pathways recalibrate. Your nervous system shifts from reactive to responsive. You don't feel more energized. You feel more clear. She started experimenting. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Sometimes she'd sit by the window. Sometimes she'd stretch. Other times, she just made tea and listened to the quiet. It wasn't meditation, it wasn't a routine. It was just less. And her brain thanked her for it. Within a week, she noticed something strange. Tasks that used to feel overwhelming, emails, planning, even conversations, suddenly felt manageable. Not easier, exactly, just less heavy. Her focus didn't magically appear, but it stayed longer when it did. Part of her still doubted it could be this simple. Maybe it was a placebo. Maybe she was just having a good week. But the science backed her up. A study published in Nature, Neuroscience showed that the brain's default mode network, the system responsible for self-reflection, memory consolidation, and creative thinking, is most active during unstructured low-stimulation moments. When you give it space in the morning, it doesn't shut down. It works, quietly organizing thoughts, connecting ideas, preparing you for the day ahead. But when you flood it with stimulation, it switches into reactive mode. It stops organizing and starts surviving. And once you're in survival mode, it's hard to climb back out. She realized something else, too. The mornings she felt most scattered weren't random. They followed nights where she'd stayed up scrolling, or gone to bed stressed, or skipped dinner. Her brain wasn't broken. It was just responding to the signals she was sending. Sleep quality mattered. Hydration mattered. Even the temperature of her bedroom played a role. The suprachiasmatic nucleus is sensitive to everything: light, temperature, food timing, stress hormones. It's trying to keep you balanced, but it needs consistency to do its job. She started treating mornings differently. Not as something to power through, but as something to protect. What surprised her most wasn't just how this simple shift improved her mornings, but how everything started to feel different once she stopped forcing herself into focus and started creating space for it instead. She wasn't expecting such a clear change, and honestly, she tested it more than a few times before she figured out what really worked. Some mornings, she'd read something calming. Other times, she'd journaled for 5 minutes. But the anchor was always the same: light, stillness, no screens. This isn't a promotion, just sharing real results that made a noticeable difference for her. She even found a journal designed specifically for morning clarity practices that helped her track patterns without overthinking it. I'll leave the link below if you want to explore what she used. But the real breakthrough wasn't the tool. It was the realization that her brain wasn't lazy, it was just overwhelmed. And once she stopped adding to the noise, it could finally hear itself again. Of course, there were setbacks. Mornings where she slipped back into old habits. Days where urgency felt more important than intention. But even those moments taught her something. Consistency wasn't about perfection. It was about returning. Again and again. The brain doesn't need you to be flawless. It just needs you to be kind. Somewhere between the failures and the quiet mornings, she found rhythm. Not perfection. Not peak performance. Just ... steadiness. And that steadiness became the foundation for everything else. She laughed, realizing progress didn't always look like progress. Sometimes it was just waking up and not immediately feeling behind. Researchers at Stanford found something similar. When routine meets meaning, consistency finally sticks. Not because you're disciplined, but because your brain finally feels safe enough to build new patterns. And safety, it turns out, is the secret ingredient most of us overlook. We think we need more willpower, more motivation, more hacks. But what we really need is less interference. When she looked in the mirror again, it wasn't her reflection that had changed, it was what she believed about herself. She wasn't someone who struggled with focus. She was someone learning to work with her brain instead of against it. And that made all the difference. This is educational information, not medical advice. If you're dealing with chronic focus issues, sleep disorders, or mental health concerns, always consult a healthcare professional. But if you're just someone trying to start your day without feeling like you're already losing, this might be worth trying. Tell us what part of this story resonated most and where you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.